All matters private and confidential. Mother Kalimata Astrology.
This Father's Day, KFC's turning up the heat with an unbeatable promotion. It's the Race for a Race. Win a brand new 2024 Toyota Race. That's right, KFC's giving you a chance to drive away in style from June 14th to July 31st. Purchase any 6, 9, 15 or 20-piece mega meals and you will receive a coupon. Fill it out and drop it in the box at any of our 11 locations. The more mega meals you buy, the more chances you have to win. Treat that as KFC favorites and give him the ride of his life. Don't miss out on the Race for a Race. Visit your nearest KFC today. Offer ends July 31st. Terms and conditions apply. See press or social media for more details. KFC is finger licking good.
Guyana. On August 1st, 2024, all roads lead to the National Park as the African Cultural and Development Association, ACTA, hosts its 31st annual Emancipation Festival, Guyana's biggest cultural festival. Come celebrate our collective African heritage with African food, dance, fashion, history, storytelling, sports, and much more. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Come, let's celebrate our resilient African essence. Harambe, we all pull together.
From the genesis of footwear comfort, Colors Boutique comes their back-to-school footwear, featuring brands like Skechers, Everlast.
Visit us at 70E Robb Street or opposite 2J Store on Regent Street, Georgetown, or call 225-3010.
Puma, Ocean Pacific. Image brand footwear from as low as $1,000. LRX. Nike. Reebok. Clarks, and more. Sizes ranging from infant to adults. We also have Sprayground backpacks. Free giveaways until stocks last. Buy one and get the other pair at half price on selected brands. Colors Boutique, the leaders in footwear comfort.
Yeah, blasted, disgusting children get inside.
So what about the children in the yard?
Not me. I ain't getting involved. I don't want my name calling people's story.
You rather know those children get abused before you do something to stop it or prevent.
That is not my concern. I just feel like I see nothing, hear nothing. I am not getting involved.
Ring the Child Care and Protection Hotline. Them people know how to deal with it. You don't have to give them your name.
Call the Child Care and Protection Agency hotline on 227-0979. Children need adults to protect them. Don't let them down.
Evening sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. No basis that Minister of Natural Resources unlawfully granted petroleum license to Exxon and Partners, CCJ, platform created between Guyana and USA to share critical information. Electrical fire evacuates 2 Camp Street schools. Major disaster averted. And in face of bullies and tyrants, USA will always stand with Guyana, US Ambassador. HGP Nightly News begins now. listeners here in Guyana and online. I'm Lisa Grant with the Friday 28 June 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We will tell you this evening that the People's National Congress Reform's 22nd Biannual Congress got off to a smooth start, with opposition leader Aubrey Norton assuring the close to 2,000 party supporters and attending the Congress that the PNCR remains strong despite challenges. Mr. Norton said this year's Congress solidifies the party's endeavor to put Guyana on the path to real social cohesion, and all forms of government will dutifully engage youth, women, the business community, religious organizations, among others, in participatory democracy. Nightly News will bring you details in a subsequent newscast. Meanwhile, attorney-at-law Vivian Williams expressed disappointment with Chief Justice Roxanne George's ruling to dismiss the case that was before her to block the ongoing People's National Congress Reform's 22nd Biannual Congress.
We're disappointed that the court didn't sort of maintain the status quo, so that the question as to internal party procedures, and more particularly the procedures used in this instance by and complained of in the People's National Congress.
Concerns about irregularities leading up to the electoral process were raised. He cautioned that this could affect the true will of the electorate.
If that issue is not resolved in, for instance, this Congress, there is the potential of that dissatisfaction popping its head up again in future elections, and that's why we think that it is a very important issue for the court to pass on. Whether or not my client wants to persist and have the court ultimately rules on this, given the drag that it may have on the party post-Congress, is a different thing. So that's the issue that we would have to address.
Williams said the way forward is yet to be discussed. In this Antonio Days report now, you will hear that the Caribbean Court of Justice has ruled that Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Barrett acted lawfully in granting of a petroleum production license to ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, CNOOC and Hess Corporation.
Under sections 14 and 4, subsection 5 of the Environmental Protection Act, the granting of environmental authorization was a condition precedent to the power exercisable by the minister under section 35 of the PEP Act to grant a petroleum production license.
This was Justice Winston Anderson delivering his ruling on Thursday. The CCJ judge had to decide whether the Minister of Natural Resources acted unlawfully in granting the petroleum production license to the three added respondents in the case: ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, Hess Corporation, and the China National Offshore Oil Corporation, known as CNOOC. Exxon was granted an environmental permit. Justice Anderson, in reference to the Environmental Protection Act 2009, concluded that the environmental authorization must be given for the undertaking of a project, and that the Environmental Protection Agency, known as the EPA, must be convinced that a developer can fulfill its role and responsibilities and comply with the terms and conditions of the environmental permit.
As sole operator, Exxon alone was able to comply with the obligations of the developer under the Environmental Protection Act.
In this case, Justice Anderson told the Apex Court that the PPL had been granted on the basis that Exxon was the operator of the project and was subject to extensive environmental obligations, which were extended to Hess and CNOOC through joint and several liability.
The essential requirements under Section 14 of the EP Act to obtain an environmental permit had been satisfied with the grant of the environmental permit to the sole operator of the Lisa 1 project. It was consistent with international oil and gas industry practice that Exxon as operator functioned as representative of the joint venturers, that Hess and CNOC be included within the license as financial partners to secure financing.
The ruling said that there is no basis for the Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat, to act unlawfully in granting the petroleum production license known as the PPL to ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, EMGL, CNOC, and Hess Corporation, when only Exxon was granted an environmental permit.
There was no basis of finding that the minister acted unlawfully, and thus considered it unnecessary to address the issue of amendment of grounds of appeal, grounds of relief pleaded.
Justice Anderson reasoned that the appellant Raymond Gaskin acted as a public-spirited citizen with the intent of advancing the constitutional protection of the environment. The judge said that, quote-unquote, costs ought not to be awarded to Gaskin, who had challenged the PPL issue to Hess and CNOC by former Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman. Back in February 2020, Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George threw out the case, ruling that Hess and CNOC did not need to separate the environmental permits from co-venturer ExxonMobil/Esso, who was the developer to conduct oil production here, and that the PPL was properly done. Dissatisfied with the Chief Justice's ruling, Gaskin then engaged the Court of Appeal, but was also unsuccessful in persuading the court. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after this break for more news.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
With the HGP Nightly News, welcome back. Guyana and the United States government now have a platform where information will be shared aimed at strengthening their relationship. This was pointed out by President Irfan Ali, who said it has already produced noticeable outcomes. More details from Tiana Cole.
There has never been a time in the history of our relationship that we have had this level of integration, this level of trust, this level of sharing, and this level of common platform through which our security architecture is operating and integrating itself.
That's His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, who was at the time speaking at a cocktail reception to commemorate the 248th independence anniversary of the United States of America. According to President Ali, a large number of servicemen and women are presently engaged in specialized training programs initiated by the U.S. government.
That we never had before. We have greater information sharing platform that we never had access to before. We have greater trust between ourselves, and this has resulted in marked improvement. This has brought tangible results in every aspect of our security architecture.
He posited that the government is seeing tangible results of a Guyana-US partnership, whether in relation to the fight against illicit drugs, money laundering, movement of arms, and criminal activities.
Help that you're giving us and the support that you're giving us in acquiring greater assets and having greater assets to support our security architecture is also key and critical.
The President added that he is looking forward to the Guyana-US strategic dialogue, which will be held soon.
In which we'll outline strategic issues, strategic policies, and strategic opportunities for the collaboration with the US and Guyana policymakers, but also the US and Guyana private sector and security architecture.
Government is also looking forward to a roundtable discussion with the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, which will bring together CEOs from across sectors, where there will be direct contact and work together towards bringing more opportunities to Guyana. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
According to Vice President Barry Jagdeo, the state Fulcrum, LNG, and ExxonMobil are currently at preliminary discussions to determine the viability of Guyana's second gas project. Antonio Day reports.
The government on June 25, 2024, said that it has identified Fulcrum Liquefied Natural Gas, LNG, a United States energy company, as a potential partner to develop Guyana's untapped gas resources. According to a release from the Ministry of Natural Resources, which said that it has engaged a U.S. company along with oil conglomerate ExxonMobil to advance this major project, as discussions are at a preliminary stage. Meanwhile, Vice President Barry Jagdeo updated the media during a press conference on Thursday in his capacity as People's Progressive Party General Secretary.
This company has to sit with ExxonMobil and the government of Guyana, first of all, to examine whether this project is feasible and then the configuration of the project. At this stage, we don't have any intention to participate financially. That's a question you asked me. We don't, as ownership, because that it means putting aside large sums of money into the venture, which we don't have. And secondly, it's a risky undertaking.
Jagdeo, however, is hopeful that the project will be viable.
So we hope that we will get a stream of revenue from one, the utilization of the gas and the allied development that can come with it, and secondly, a stream of revenue from the sale of our share of the gas, which we can get now if the gas remains as associated gas in the wells.
Jagdeo told journalists that the government was determined to move forward with the project, with or without Exxon, and would engage a capable independent third-party operator to collaborate with ExxonMobil or carry out the project independently. Consequently, requests for bids for the design, financing, construction, and operation of essential gas infrastructure to support upstream developments in Guyana were published both locally and internationally. In response, 17 companies, including the U.S. energy firm, submitted proposals. Resultantly, Fulcrum LNG was selected as the company that will support the government and the Starboard Block operator ExxonMobil in utilizing the non-associated gas. He noted that there is no conflict of interest regarding questions about Fulcrum's LNG CEO, Jesus Boncalo, who served as vice president of ExxonMobil.
They said if he had stayed on and was getting benefits from the company, then there would have been a conflict. But he resigned some time ago from Exxon.
According to Jack Dio, if Brancarlo has knowledge on Exxon's operations in the management of liquefied natural gas, also known as LNG, therefore, his technical expertise would significantly benefit Guyana. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
United States Ambassador Nicole Tirot has made it clear that the U.S. will always stand with Guyana.
In the face of bullies and tyrants, the United States will always stand with Guyana. We will continue to grow and prosper together and enjoy peace and security in this critically important region.
That was United States Ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Tirot, who was at the time speaking at the cocktail reception to commemorate the 248th independence anniversary of the United States of America. Tirot discussed that the ongoing military partnership between the two countries is the strongest it's ever been.
Guyana has hosted trade winds, bringing over 1,000 partner nations personnel for exercises promoting regional stability. We've had countless military-to-military engagements. We've allocated significant foreign military financing to support the Guyana Coast Guard under the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative. And we have worked with the GDF on institutional strengthening, air domain awareness, cyber defense, and in many, many other areas.
She added that the law enforcement partnership is also stronger than ever, and with the support from the Guyana Police Force, U.S. law enforcement was able to apprehend 5 fugitives in 2023.
Our DEA team has worked with KANU and other parts of the government to seize thousands of kilos of illegal drugs.
Additionally, she explained that there is also significant progress commercially between the two nations.
Just a few years ago, we traded a few $100 million U.S. worth of goods, but last year, we surpassed 4.6 billion U.S. We now have over 100 U.S. companies in Guyana, and that number is growing every single day. Through our trade missions, conferences, and exchanges between our private sectors, our companies are unleashing economic growth that supports the employment of thousands, providing a better future for Guyana.
Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break for more news. Stay tuned.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
From the genesis of footwear comfort, Colors Boutique comes their back-to-school footwear, featuring brands like Skechers, Everlast.
Visit us at 70E Robb Street or opposite 2J Store on Regent Street, Georgetown, or call 225-3010.
Puma, Ocean Pacific, Image brand footwear from as low as $1,000. LRX, Nike, Reebok, Clarks, and more. Sizes ranging from infant to adults. We also have spray ground backpacks. Free giveaways until stocks last. Buy one and get the other pair at half price on selected brands. Colors Boutique. The leaders in footwear comfort.
HGP School nursery and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Thanks for staying with us as we continue. A family of 8 have now been rendered homeless following the collapse of their wooden home on a Tuesday. More details from Daisy Richards.
A family of 8, including 5 children, has been left without a roof over their head following the collapse of their home in Hatfield.
Thanks for staying with us as we continue. A family of 8 have now been rendered homeless following the collapse of their wooden home on a Tuesday. More details from Daisy Richards.
A family of 8, including 5 children, has been left without a roof over their head following the collapse of their home in Hatfield Street on Tuesday at approximately 5:30 p.m. Head of the household and father of 6, Ron Roberts, spoke with this newscast and related what transpired. A mango tree located in the yard damaged part of the structure's foundation, and according to Roberts, after the recent tremor, the house collapsed. Roberts said that his employer, the Guyana Power and Light Incorporation, has offered assistance with the removal of the demolished structure. Roberts and his family is currently residing at his mother's residence. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
You will hear now from Travis Chase that classes at a nursery and primary school in Georgetown were discontinued after an early morning fire. Here are the details.
Classrooms at Starter's Nursery and the St. Margaret's Primary Schools had to evacuate Friday morning when a large electrical panel caught fire. Otis Charles, Divisional Officer Operations, said that the fire department received the call around 10:33 a.m.
On arrival, the guy noticed some smoke coming from one of the rooms on the upper flat. So right away, we get into firefighting mode. We responded with 4 vehicles, ensured our hoses were rolled out, charged, but then it was discovered that it was a fuse panel that was on fire. All right, there was a 4.5 dry chemical extinguisher that was used to extinguish the fire.
Charles said that the Guyana Power and Light was also summoned and power was cut to the building. The divisional officer said that the situation could have been worse if the relevant agencies didn't respond on time.
And I say that it's a major disaster that was averted. All right, we responded promptly. I think we took just about 8 minutes for the first arriving vehicle to reach here. So we managed to cordon off the entire area, and there was no other damages done other than the fuse panel around that area, which I think the cause got to do with something with overloading of different circuits. And that was the main fuse panel that obviously it's going to take the load, and it gave off.
Education Minister Priya Manik Chand was also on site and said that it was reported to her that all the children from both buildings were safely evacuated.
It's a panel that started smoking. The fire service appeared to have responded very promptly. And I came to make sure children are out and safe and are getting home. Yeah. And to support the officers on the ground, really.
Classes at the school had to be discontinued as the Guyana Fire Service wrapped up its investigation. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
First-time homeowners in Region 2 will now be able to advance construction on their homes after receiving cement and steel vouchers from the Ministry of Housing and Water. Daisy Richards has that report.
58 first-time homeowners will now be able to construct their homes following the distribution of cement and steel vouchers by the Ministry of Housing and Water. Vouchers, which are to the tune of $225,000, will significantly improve the lives of persons in Region 2, according to Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell. The minister highlighted that this initiative adds some $13 million into the region's economy. He added that the government has been pushing investments that will improve the lives of persons living in Region 2, and as such, the ministry has made lands for allocation available. He emphasized that the ministry is strengthening its regional services while putting mechanisms in place to better address issues in the region. Concerns were raised by persons in the region about the water supply system, and the minister said, and I quote, "We have $2 billion invested in the region's water supply system. With the Under-Niemen treatment plant, this will increase access to treated water along the coast to 90%, end of quote. Chief Executive Officer of Central Housing and Planning Authority, Sherwin Graves, highlighted that the region has a lot to look forward to and urged residents to take advantage of the services available at the outreach. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
The Carbon Court of Justice has agreed with the High Court and the Court of Appeal as it relates to an environmental permit that could likely have dire environmental consequences. Social activist Raymond Gaskin attempted to bring the Environmental Protection Agency to task over the granting of the licenses. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Raymond Gaskin had filed a fixed date application in the High Court seeking to squash the minister's decision to issue the petroleum product license and prevent him from granting a license to Hess and CNOOC until they acquired an environmental permit. Gaskin had filed a case in 2020, but Chief Justice Ruxin George dismissed his application. He then moved to the Guyana Court of Appeal, where again his appeal was tossed out. Hence he approached the Carbon Court of Justice, CCJ. Justice Winston Anderson, in delivering his CCJ ruling, said the court was asked to determine two issues, one being whether the minister acted unlawfully in granting the petroleum production license to Exxon, Hess, and CNOOC, when Exxon was granted an environmental permit, and whether the High Court and Court of Appeal reached the statutory time limit in delivering its judgment.
Under Section 14 of the EP Act, to obtain an environmental permit had been satisfied with the grant of the environmental permit to the sole operator of the Lisa 1 project.
Anderson added that secondly, it was consistent with international oil and gas industry practice that Exxon as operator function as joint venturers, that S and CNOOC be included in the license as financial partners to secure financing. The court also found that the three companies shared responsibility for environmental harm caused by their operations, and that there was no increased risk of harm to the environment on either the precautionary principle or avoidance principle by the inclusion of the two companies.
That there was no basis for finding that the minister acted unlawfully, and thus considered it unnecessary to address the issue of amendment of grounds of appeal, grounds of relief pleaded.
Anderson added that the appellant, as a member of the public, play a key role in advancing environmental law in Guyana through the pursuit of this matter, and cause ought not to be awarded against him. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Hi, my name is Keisha Davis. First of four siblings. I'm a mom of three and I'm an auditor.
My brother Tariq is a transgender man, which means he was born female but now lives as a man. He's always known himself to be.
He's great at math. I'm horrible. And he actually helps my 12-year-old daughter with her math. As soon as he gets home at night, he'll say, "Jazz, let's go. What would you like me to help you with?" She actually got a prize in school for full score at math and English. Tariq is my rock. Like, honestly, like, count it on. No matter what it is, no matter how horrible it might look through others' eyes, he doesn't judge. And he is there to support me, to support my kids. I don't know my way to do that.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch. So tasty. What a catch. We got reminiscent. What a catch. And so much chocolate, ooh yeah, yeah, yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, with so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, it's fine caramel, ooh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. What a catch, you know we love you. What a catch, oh, 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 oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy, what a catch.
These nice products I spoke with proper things. Peppies, you get the best and least. Oh no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yellow, you put the things in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do da do da do. I love you and you and you and you and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love
Antigua and Barbuda. The government of Antigua and Barbuda has decided to introduce legislation to expunge criminal records for individuals convicted of possessing small amounts of marijuana. This move will effectively erase these convictions, allowing affected individuals to legally state they have no prior arrests or juvenile delinquency adjudications when dealing with potential landlords, employers, or licensing agencies. The Parliament is scheduled to convene in July to consider this legislation. While a bill to expunge minor offences generally was passed in 2013, it was never implemented. In March 2018, the Misuse of Drugs Amendment Act modified the Misuse of Drugs Act, decriminalizing possession of up to 15 grams of cannabis or cannabis resin. However, this amendment did not fully legalize cannabis, as penalties for selling the drug remain in place. Current regulations also limit households to a maximum of 4 marijuana plants, with possession of more than this number remaining illegal. The new legislation aims to address the lingering effects of past cannabis convictions, aligning with the country's more recent decriminalization efforts. While in Trinidad and Tobago, police viewed explicit sex videos as they investigate the murder of nurse and beauty pageant contestant Sadna Gangu. At least one of the videos, which has been circulating on social media, shows 2 women and 2 men. One of the women is believed to be Gangu. In the days before her death, Gangu, 44, had told work colleagues, relatives, and the police that people wanted to kill her. At the scene of her murder near the Princess Town District Health Facility on Wednesday, 3 of her relatives said they knew why she was targeted, but declined to speak for fear of also becoming victims. One of the sex videos involved 2 men, one a businessman's grandson and the other a state employee. A source said the police attempted to serve a summons on Tuesday on a person who had threatened Gangu with death over one of the videos. Gangu on Thursday was described as an independent person who was able to rise from an underprivileged life. The registered nurse was also a proprietor. She possessed several items of jewelry and other accessories, and when thieves broke into her home back in 2021, footage from the camera in her bedroom helped officers in their investigation. On Wednesday, Gangu of Fairfield Road, Princess Town, was shot in the head after she left her workplace at the Princess Town District Health Facility. She was about to enter her BMW, which was parked around the corner from the hospital located at Circular Street. Police later found a silver-colored Tida abandoned in Fairfield Road, Princess Town. A pair of gloves and a baklava were also found inside. This car and Gangu's vehicle were taken to the Special Evidence Recovery Unit for processing. Finally, news from Chile. Recent torrential rains in Chile have brought back to life, for now at least, reservoirs and lagoons that had all but dried up after years of drought, with dramatic images of cracked lake beds replaced by mirror-like still waters. A severe years-long drought had decimated water supplies and hit local industries, from mining to agriculture and bees in the Andean nation, while exacerbating tensions over water use. The Asalillo Lagoon became a symbol of the crisis as dead cattle and fish carcasses lay on its cracked and dry surface where there had once been a huge body of water. That's now dramatically refilled. The recent rains that have refilled lakes and seen snow dumped on bare mountainsides in the Andes damaged hundreds of homes and left one person dead. But the water has meant that other lagoons like Lake Peñuelas, an important water source for tourist coastal town Valparaiso, that had dried up to a puddle, has recovered substantially. Experts, however, believe that the recent rains won't make up for the decade-long drought. A recent El Nino weather pattern brought low-pressure storms from the Pacific, heralding strong rains during the southern hemisphere winter, replenishing aquifers and covering the Andes mountains with snow. But a new La Nina is expected, meaning drier weather. Alex Goodroy, director of the Center for Research in Sustainability at Universidad del Desarrollo, said the weather outlook ahead was positive in terms of precipitation. Thank you for watching and do enjoy your weekend.
No basis that Minister of Natural Resources unlawfully granted petroleum license to Exxon and Partners, CCJ, platform created between Guyana and the US to share critical information. Electrical fire evacuates 2 Camp Street schools. Major disaster averted, fire service. And in the face of bullies and tyrants, USA will always stand with Guyana, US Ambassador. Those are our major headlines for these stories and more. Please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Aletha Grant. Thanks for watching.